The Critique, a common critique, paints Howard as a competent, even reliable filmmaker but lacking in boldness or unique directorial voice. That brand of filmmaking, critics argue, is workmanlike rather than visionary, one Reddit user summed it up: he's a competent, solid director. Workmanlike and solid, but not special. Factsverse.com +7 neogf.com +7 logs.optimoi.com +7 reddit.com. Another bluntly says, Ron Howard is toast. Plain white bread toast with a little butter. Nothing to really say that's good about it either. Reddit.com, these reflections suggest a sense of ambivalence and appreciation for his execution, but little affection for artistic risk-taking. Why it stings in art, especially film, reliability isn't always praised. When a director is seen as conforming to studio demands, critics may brand them soulless or lackluster. Howard's mainstream success, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind, solidifies his status as dependable, but it also sets the stage for critique. Where's The Voice? 2. Faithful adaptations versus derivative retellings. Dan Brown adaptations. Howard directed The Da Vinci Code 2006 and its sequels. While commercially successful, devotees of the books felt the movies lacked authenticity. A Reddit user on R. Dan Brown bluntly states, Ron Howard butchers some of the greatest stories by one of the greatest writers ever. Ron Howard shouldn't try rewriting perfection. Reddit.com, this accusation that Howard butchered narrative or tone is particularly harsh given the popularity of the source material. Broader backlash, similar viewpoints surface around other adaptations. Critics say he sanitizes or formats real events or characters, like Al Jolson in The Grinch or John Nash in A Beautiful Mind, to fit a Hollywood mold. LawTimes.com +15 logs.optimoi.com +15 reddit.com +15 reddit.com. Reddit.com, when authenticity clashes with commercial storytelling, Howard frequently lands on the side of spectacle over sincerity, sometimes at the expense of critics. 3. Resistance 2. Creative criticism. A famous public meltdown in the studio, a fictionalized Apple TV Plus show. Howard plays himself. In one scene, he flies into a rage against Seth Rogen's executive character over notes about a film. This emotional confrontation, complete with a thrown baseball cap and F-bombs, mirrors a director ferociously defensive of his work. Reddit.com +3 people.com +3 logs.optimoi.com +3. Although dramatized, it reinforces a narrative. Howard may be emotionally invested to the point of being uncooperative when it comes to feedback on his creative choices. Is it real or exaggerated? We don't know if this reflects his actual behavior. But Hollywood thrives on myth, and Howard's on-screen depiction can reinforce a reputation for ego when it comes to his creative babies. 4. Early career disillusionment on set and on-air ridicule from networks in his early acting days, The Gotcha, Dating Game, Celebrity Squares, etc. Howard endured schemes that embarrassed him, making him question his path into directing. FaroutMagazine.co.uk. Many fans didn't know that. Before becoming a respected filmmaker, Howard spent years in showbiz humiliation. Battle with Happy Days surreality. Despite icon status on Happy Days, Howard faced internal conflict as his role diminished when Fonzie became the cultural centerpiece. He described feeling treated with a lot of disrespect by execs who pushed his co-star to the forefront. People.com +14 BusinessInsider.com +14 FaroutMagazine.co.uk +14. Moreover, he was so unhappy he seriously considered quitting, even fantasizing about driving to Tijuana to escape. FaroutMagazine.co.uk. This reveals a man at war with both the system and his own identity. 5. On-set conflicts with legendary performers. Betty Davis on Skyward. During directing Skyward, Howard reportedly received icy treatment from icon Betty Davis, who initially addressed him as Child and Mr. Howard, only warming up much later in production. CGATSHET.com +1n.wikipedia.org +1. While resolved amicably, it reflects early tension and the challenge of directing strong personalities. 6. Polarizing recent project. Solo, a Star Wars story. Howard took over directing duties late in the game after Phil Lord and Chris Miller were dismissed. While he wrapped up production, the released film was criticized as dry and lacked the creative spark the original directors promised. Reddit commentary. encapsulates this. It became more boring after Howard took the reins. Hillbilly. Elegy, the Netflix adaptation of J.D. Vance's memoir, landed Howard in another spotlight. Critics and regional commentators called the film exploitative, accusing it of manipulating rural narratives into sob story tropes. One Redditor from Ohio called it goober porn and said people couldn't grasp these hillbillies would make your eyes bleed with their sob stories. Reddit.com.7. The heart of the dislike, let's break it down. Criticism, explanation, formulaic. Storytelling. Howard sticks to tried and true formulas rather than taking creative risks. Studio compliance, seen as putting box office prototypes over. Artistic edge. Weak adaptations. Critics say he flattens out nuances in beloved books or stories, sensitive to critique. His on-screen outburst, and the studio suggests defenses over criticism conflict with strong personalities. Early clashes with Betty Davis. Tensions during Happy Days era age. Counterpoints. Why he still holds respect. Award-winning storytelling, A Beautiful Mind. Apollo 13. Rush All earned critical acclaim and Oscars. Dependable collaborator. Producers and studios repeatedly bring him on when timelines and budgets matter. Legendary transition. Few child actors navigate successfully to acclaimed adult director. He did. 9. So was he ever utterly despised? Not in a scandalous, scandal-driven sense, but perception matters. In certain circles among cinephiles, creative purists, or regional activists, Howard has indeed been the target of harsh words, ranging from hack to uninspired studio drone. Recent arias around Hillbilly, Elegy, and Solo gave critics new reasons to push back. Adaptation purists still grimace at his Dan Brown work. Critics and fans seeking strong directorial signature often find him generic. That said, Hollywood insiders often respect him, even if critics don't. 10. Final thoughts. Ron Howard's career is a masterclass in duality. On one side, there's undeniable success, awards, hits, and a reputation of getting things done under pressure with grace. On the other side, there's quiet but potent resentment that he plays it safe, that his artistic ambition is overshadowed by studio expectations. Those who utterly despise him likely fall into two camps: art house purists who want more bold, experimental filmmaking, devoted fans disappointed by narrative flattening, readers upset with his adaptation of books, or locals frustrated by stereotypical portrayals.